Hello everyone, this is the long overdue video of how to use LSDJ in live mode. This is just going to go over some very basic things as far as controls and really um, novice techniques about setting up um, your live mode song. I'm not going to go into anything advanced. There are a lot of really good videos on how to use LSDJ in a live setting, as far as what to do um, and things you can do. This is just going to go over the basics. Uh, and I have some videos linked at the bottom to some advanced live workshops using LSDJ live, and I will get to those at the end of the video. So anyway, before we start getting into live mode, I want to go over song structure as far as how your song is set up in your song screen. I think this is just a really good way of keeping everything organized, so there's no confusion as far as when you transfer your song into a live mode or a live setting. So anyway, so what I do to keep everything organized is I set a specific set of numbers to each channel. If you'll notice in my Pulse 1 channel that everything starts with 0. And the reason that is because I have designated 0 through 0F for my Pulse 1 channel. In my Pulse 2 channel, I use 1 0 through 1F. My wave, I use 2 0 through 2F. My noise, I use 3 0 through 3F. I even go so far as using the phrases with that same set of numbers and my instruments with that same set of numbers. This is just so I always know what channel I'm in and what instrument goes to what channel. And this is also going to help you, for me, help you transfer your songs over to live mode. Now you notice right now, this isn't my song, this isn't my live mode song structure. What this is just how I begin to write a song. I will write songs so that it plays out, and this is a much easier way to record songs as well. But I will break that, I'll keep that, but I will break off, and at the bottom will set up my song for live mode. Okay, so now that we have that covered, I'm going to go over the very basics of using live mode right now. Now, what live mode allows you to do is, in the song screen, is trigger separate channels, trigger channels separately. So when I hit start or play on the song screen in song mode, it will just play, it'll play all of the channels. And you'll notice to the left there are little triangles next to each phrase number. Now, to get into live mode, hold select and press left. And you'll see at the top left corner that we're now in live mode. You'll see it says live. So now, instead of when I press start, it will just play whatever channel you have highlighted with your cursor. So I'm on my Pulse 1 channel. It'll just play the Pulse 1 channel. Now to untrigger anything, you hold select and press start. And you'll see it changes to a hyphen next to it, or a little line. And that indicates that after the song is done, after the chains are done playing, that it will cut out. Okay, so there's also a way to quick trigger and quick untrigger each individual chain. and this is really easy to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just play all of these. So let's say I really want a quick trigger this next lead. So all I would do is hit start twice. And what that does, after whichever phrase it's on at the current point, it will immediately go to that next chain. What you got to be careful is that if you do it too early, it could go out of sync, and your song could sound garbled and out of tune. But anyway, and to quick untrigger anything, just hold select, press start, and you'll see that the hyphen next to it is blinking a little faster, and that's just to indicate that you are now in a quick start. Or if the arrow's blinking faster, that's just that's quick start. The fast blinking hyphen, sorry, means that you're now quick untriggering. Okay, so now that we've gone over the basics of triggering, I'm going to show you how to trigger multiple channels at the same time. And the way I had my song set up was that in the beginning, I was just layering everything on top of each other. So I started with my lead, and then I brought in my drums, and then I brought in my melody. So afterwards, I didn't necessarily need to trigger everything separately. So rather than going through and going to each channel and pressing start to trigger it for the next after the bars, I would hold select, tap B, and tap B again, and then now all of your channels are selected, and this allows you to play all of your channels. Because now that they're all selected and you hit start, it will trigger all your channels. If I do the same thing, see, rather than going on each individual one, it makes it a lot easier just to trigger them all. And you'll see I actually screwed up there, and that's something you want to try and avoid, because your songs will, gives you a little more wiggle room as far as doing things within your song, so you're not really trying to trigger everything really quick individually. And you'll notice when you're practicing in live mode that doing that, you're going to trip up. And so this is just kind of a way to not make too many errors while running in live mode. Okay, so you can also do the same thing for untriggering as well. And you do the same thing as selecting, but to untrigger, just hold select, tap start, and you'll see the arrows next to it, and your song will stop. Okay. Alright, so here's an even more advanced, I suppose, way of selecting things. So let's say my song is switched over from this section to this section, but I want to leave my alright, so my intro I start at, and I want to leave my lead out for 2 bars. So rather than selecting them all and then killing that one, I can just you can select individual channels to trigger. So if you hold select, tap B, and then tap right or left, from wherever your cursor is at, it will go to
it'll go to the next one. So okay, so I want to play just these 3 channels right now, and then bring in my lead. So I've held select and tapped B, and then let go, and then selected my channels, and I hit start. Okay. So just play those 3 channels. Now I want to bring in my lead. These are all, things you can do. Like I said, that's just another way of kind of improvising. But there's even probably a more effective way of doing this, and that's to just solo channels, which I'll show you. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to individually mute a channel or just solo a channel, which soloing means to cut out all your other channels and allow that single channel to play. So I'll show you for individual, so let's say, okay, I have everything playing right now, and I just want to mute out my lead. So what I would do is hold B and press select, and now you'll hear that the lead is not playing. If I let go of select while holding B, it'll go right back. But if I'm doing this at the same time, and then let go of B and then select, that channel will stay muted until I tap B with the cursor over that channel. Okay? And you can do that for any of the channels. So let's do that. And you can do it on either one. Doesn't matter. And you'll see on the left, or I'm sorry, the right-hand side, right under your channel screen there, it'll say mute, and that just, the MUTE corresponds with each channel. So the M is the pulse wave, pulse 1 channel. U is pulse 2, and I'm tapping B to open these back up. T is wave, E is your noise channel. Okay, now to solo a channel, you're basically doing the same thing, except that wherever your cursor is, it will mute all other channels other than that channel. So I have this going, and I want to cut out everything else except for my lead right now. So what I would do is hold B and press start. Now if I hold them both, and if I let go of start, I can keep cutting it in and out. If I hold B and start, and then let go of B, and then start, it will just continue to mute your other 3 channels. And then to unmute them, just go over them and tap B. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to show you is just a really simple live technique that you can use. It's just panning your one of your channels to the left or to the right. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and... So if I just want to let this play on the left channel, I'll hold B and press left on your directional pad. Now if I let go of B and then let go of left, it will hold like that. And if I tap B, it'll come back to both channels. Do the same thing, hold B and then tap right, and it'll go to your right channel. Pretty cool, like just little improv live technique you can do. It's just hold B and tap left and right, and let it pan to each channel. Okay, so I hope you now understand the basics of how live mode works. In the description, I have a link to the Chip Music Chronicle, which is a compilation of live videos from individual chip musicians, a lot of them using LSDJ.
wanted to link this channel so you could watch and see what people are actually doing, what people are using in different setups. This tutorial is more catered to a single individual Game Boy setup on what you would do. But if you're, depending on what pieces of equipment you're using, this will all change. It'll all be different. I'm sure everyone's live usage is a little bit different, but this is how I'm using mine currently in a live situation. There's also going to be I have some links to some workshops that MFedX, who runs Chip Music Chronicle, she records all the videos. There's some workshops that she's recorded, and there's some very good advanced LSDJ techniques that I didn't get into using live mode. So enjoy and go subscribe. It's a great channel, and it's awesome to see everyone play live. And I hope this has helped you out again. Thank you. So if you happen to forget any of these commands that I've showed you today, it's all within the LSDJ menu. Just hold select and press up, and you'll see that there's a help option. Just tap A, and then this will give you a list of the commands and everything that you need. So mute, solo, pan for what I just showed you, and live. This is just all of the button presses that you need to achieve all of this.